Yo, what's going on? It's Blaine the cool boy. They call
Blaine
me
the
cool
cool
boy
boy.
Q.
I
Cool
don't know
boy
about that,
G.
man. I'm just chilling, bro.
Shout out to my boy Schoolboy Q. No, I'm playing. What's going on with y'all? Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks. Oh, yeah, well, yeah, you guys too.
Blaine, I'm talking to you.
I was like, oh, thanks, bro.
Welcome to the podcast about podcasts. We talk about different podcasts. We just had some seafood. I think some shrimp, some fried shrimp. That shit was on fire.
That shit is so good.
It was.
I just moved to the city and we went out there and got some food and came back to the podcast, so hope you guys enjoy.
But what you think about this name for the podcast? It just hit me. I'm drawing a blank. We'll see where this takes us.
I like that a lot, actually. It's pretty
You like
smooth.
it?
Yeah, it's nice.
Because when I said it, I was like, it just hit me. Alright, there you go. We'll see where this
We'll
takes
see
us.
where this takes us. I like that a lot. Yeah.
Alright, what's the initials for that? W.
There's
S.
too many letters.
It is. Now I'm just trying to see if you spell something. Like, it might spell out Hot Boys.
Hot boy summer.
The
So
initials,
what the
man.
hell
It might be fire, it might be like Cash. You know, I want to see what the initials
shit.
spell out. You
That's
know,
just
you know
funny.
sometimes the initials spell out something cool
Yeah.
because the phrase is long, and then when you break it down, it makes like a little. You see what I'm
It's like an acronym. I forgot what it's
Yeah,
called.
acronym. I
know
thought the
exactly
acronym was
what you're
gonna be cool or something.
Yeah,
Like
that's-
Money or something like that. But we'll see where this takes our podcast.
Yeah, that's a nice name. I like that name a lot, actually. So
This was but I really don't have no topics, bro. I was just like, let's just record.
bro, that's the best way to do it. I feel like
Exactly.
you do a topic, you just be like, it's kind of like, something random. It's not like something random. Sometimes yields a better result.
Facts. But let me see what we can talk about right quick. R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman, bro. How you feel about that? I don't think we've had to talk to you about that. I think we've had to talk to you about that.
It's a big hit, especially because what it represented, like what his role represented, like in Hollywood, not just Hollywood, but to the world and to Black America. Like
Yeah.
the whole like movie was like more than a movie that's known. They represented like some sort of like symbolic, freedom for us and glory for us, because we know that Africa was the home of these nations that surpassed all the technology of the world, even to this date, as far as what the function, how things worked, and how a testament to that movie was. And even though it was fictional, we know inherently that's something that's really going on and happened in history. So it's sort of, painted that picture for us. So for him to die, it hits home, man. It's kind of hard. It's not like I know him, but it still kind of represented something,
I get what you're saying, but the thing about me, but I'm such a conspiracy theorist. I always think like they just scheming on this. It's like the way I took it, like R.I.P. Chadwick in the sense of like the man actually died, so respects goes out to his fam, his loved ones, and just to him. But me, I always take it to that next level. It's like, but we just got our first Black superhero. It was like empowering and stuff. You feel me?
Yeah.
Like this is ours. We have it. This belongs to our culture. And then boom, he dies. It's like, dang.
Yeah, that's wild.
It's like, dang. It's like they made us. It's like they kind of told us our Superman is vulnerable. Our Superman can die. If you get what I'm saying, like if you think about it, it's like a superhero never. And I'm not saying. I know it was a movie. He was acting, but
I hear what you're saying, though.
it's like our Superman died. Like it's like
Yeah.
the man, like the dude. When you look up in the sun, that's when they say up and away. He's faster than a locomotive. He could catch. It's like that was all version. That was the first time a Black superhero was on like mainstream, and then like people were telling their kids, Black kids, young Black boys, I'm the Black Panther. It was empowering. Now you got here, the hero died. That's crazy. Like
That's very true.
and then especially around this time when we got Black men dying, getting shot
Yeah,
by
you're actually right.
police.
It's
like now we're seeing even our icon they could die too. So now it puts this image in our head, like it's like they're always painting a picture. We're not untouchable. And I know I'm probably a conspiracy theorist, think I'm overthinking it, but I always think it like this like
symbolism.
Yeah, the symbolism of it. Like imagine a young kid like 5, 6, 7 saying, "Daddy, Black Panther died. He could die." Like he's a superhero. He's supposed to be super. Oh, technical difficulties. That's what you do when you record. But the camera's going up. But like I was saying, like Daddy, Black Panther died. Like, he's mortal like us. Cause we put these superheroes like they supposed to be they heroes. They're supposed to live forever, icons. But it just showed us even black icons. R.I.P. man.
Yeah, you know what's
even though
wild
it might be natural, but I'm just conspiracy theorist. I always think there's more. I'm just.
No, it's okay. Because it makes sense. Like, it makes sense the symbolism what you said. You know what's wild is they interviewed him and they asked him, you know, what do you think about the villain in the movie? So I don't think there was any villains in this movie.
It wasn't.
Just a different perspective, and that's so true.
But I like the Killmonger character a lot.
Yeah.
Because like I resonated with him because like he was speaking some truth, and even though his ideology was to some people, you know, it was a little extreme, but he had, you know, he wanted to give his people power.
Yeah.
It's like, imagine there's a African, just a black nation that's the most advanced. Pretty much, Wakanda is if America is a first world country, Wakanda is above that. You feel me? That's how advanced they were.
Yeah.
So it was so advanced that it wasn't even connected with
the
world. That means it was beyond. It was. But looking at the movie, that fictional country was probably 200 years ahead of the rest of the world.
Yeah, exactly. Check this out. I think Wakanda represents the intellect, the freedom, and the realized black mind. Because Wakanda represents a black civilization not affected by the world around them and the hate and the structures and institutions of the world around them. Left to our own device, we could create something like that probably in 50 years. But the thing about it is, it's not painted where we realize that, because everyone wants to, institutions and stuff want the black thought to be polished away and take it away from what it is. But black thought is, the black mind, the individual collective freedom of black people and our individual and collective thought is so powerful that we could create something like that. And that's so true.
Bro, we definitely can. Imagine if slavery never happened and African countries were left to develop.
Yeah.
We could have had Wakanda. We could have had those types of countries in Africa.
Yeah.
If all the resources wasn't
Egypt.
Blaine, think about it. We were a country that big of a continent. There would be numerous countries that developed into a modern society that advanced. Because imagine if, like, they didn't go and pretty much strip the resources, exploit the golds, the diamonds, you know, the natural resources that's in that country. Exploit the people.
Yeah.
If they let the people to their own devices, don't bring their own religion to it, don't bring their own government, their own ideology into the country. They let the country develop on its own. It would strive, because I remember we were talking about, I strongly believe, like, in the soul of black people, there's a sense of community. Remember we had this discussion, like, I was like, bro, even when people, even today, right? Like, when you see somebody, he sell dope, he sell drugs, or he in the streets, you know, at the end of the day, like, there's still a sense of family. They're doing it for family.
Yeah.
It's not even like, sometimes it's not even for selfish natures. It's they want to strive and prosper for the family.
Create a better future.
Exactly. You know, young black boys, you know, they grow up, they respect their mothers, they respect their grandmothers, they show love. You know, there's always a sense of family within the black community. So that's why I say, like, if we're left to develop our own, because, you know, Africa is huge, one, and is very wealthy in resources.
Yeah,
natural resources
in the world.
And just like us as a people. So we would build upon it. Exactly. So man, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. You know, I think that I really believe this, that in America, the stuff that we're dealing with, Dr. King said before he died, I believe I have led my people into house of burning contradictions. And you think about assimilation and integration, I wish they didn't, but sometimes they can go hand in hand. You know, when you integrate to something, then you're in a form assimilating in a way. It doesn't have to be assimilation, but that's what it's become.
It is assimilation because, just to piggyback what you just said, it's assimilation because when you integrate something, the minority is consumed by the majority.
Yes.
So if black people are integrated into the white culture is dominant. So we're gonna have to, we're not coming in there to make it equal. We're coming in there to be accepted in what they deem to be the norm.
Right.
You feel me? Because they only allowing us in there because they don't think we're gonna change nothing. We're just gonna come, keep our heads down, and just do what they ask us to. You feel me? So that's what integration is. Because if we came in there and disrupt the status quo, there would be a problem to it. You feel me?
Yeah.
So
right. Yeah.
that's what integration is in a sense. It's taking, especially when it's not on equal terms. Because when we integrated, it wasn't on equal terms.
Right.
We're just saying, accept us, let us be part of your clique. But what we didn't understand is the clique is so big that we wouldn't have a voice. We would just be able to come in the room, but we wouldn't be able to touch nothing.
And you know what's wild is I think one of the biggest solutions for our communities is being left alone.
Exactly, because when we're left alone, it's like being left alone give us a chance to grow and also fend for ourselves and create solutions for our own problems. So we would grow and prosper more. But now when we assimilate, since they have their solution and we in the room, we're just left with the scraps. Imagine like they let you in the house. Boom, they let you in the house now. They all eating good. Now all you got left is whatever they throw in the trash. So the bones, you're gonna try to pick some meat off the bones. But if you're outside, it's more space outside. You would find somewhere to eat. You feel me?
Exactly.
You have more room to explore. Yeah. You have more rooms. You would go outside. Exactly. Okay,
build your own house.
Exactly. Build your own house. Look for, if you're hungry, go look around the woods.
Berries.
Find some berries. Find something.
Yeah.
So now you're feeding yourself. But when you're inside, it's limited because now, since they have all the resources inside, you can only eat what they didn't want to eat.
I don't want a seat at the table. What I want is an opportunity to build a table, an opportunity not from anyone else, but from the space to build the opportunity itself.
Exactly.
And to be able to scale that opportunity,
If you to have a seat at the table, you are bound by that table.
The rules of the table.
The rules of the table. The table. If the table is 5 chairs, you can't come in there and be like, imagine if I put an extra chair in there. No, it's 5 chairs. Now you gotta find where to get one chair. You can't bring your own chair. Then if you built your whole table, then you could put as many chairs as you want.
Yeah.
You can have as many seats. You can have as many people as you want. Or if you try to join what they have, there's already rules. That's the thing about this country. When people say it wasn't built for us, it really wasn't, because they wrote these rules for them.
Yeah.
So how you gonna say, yeah, the Constitution's not for
you? And you know what's interesting is that the laws they made were to govern their own people. The laws they're making were to govern a rule. I'm white and black, but I'm black, but I'm multiracial, what they would say. But I'm gonna say this truly: the people that were coming over there were people that were from Europe, but they weren't necessarily the upper class. They're people from Europe that were, sometimes people that were in jail, sometimes people that in Europe, sometimes people that were kind of farmers and stuff like that, just normal people.
You're talking about people who came to the new land
from
America?
Europe, yeah.
Okay.
And they were looking for a new opportunity because they were, kicked out of Europe mostly.
Yeah.
And these people, the laws they made, the laws that strictly governed and that made things kind of gridlock were not for, only. No, it wasn't until, of course, they did make laws, the Jim Crow laws, things like that, trying to discriminate. What I'm saying is the whole structure, the whole legal system, everything was not built for our minds, our identity, our culture. Our culture supersedes law. Our culture is love, like you just said. We're naturally a moral people, community-wise, from Africa. Our cultures, whether it's Haitian culture, Jamaican culture, African American culture, all these cultures have to do with a community and family basis. We're not just going to do some dumb shit. We don't do that typically.
Build around the family.
Yeah.
Is built around
core.
the family.
Yeah.
Like core value. That's why when you see these jokes where And I'm not taking shade. I'm not taking shade at other cultures or taking shade at other other races. You know, people with different colors than me. But I'm just trying to emphasize my people by comparing it to others. You know, I want to say, I don't know how to say it. I'm not political, so I'm just gonna say how I say it. I'm just gonna talk how I talk. I don't feel like
Yeah, you're good.
I was gonna say, but like racism might be, it might be real, it might be a lie, but I don't subscribe to that. I subscribe to, you could physically see there's different colors to people's skin. Like you could see a black man and you could see a white man. Like, so when people say, "Oh, I don't see color," how? You're not, unless you're colorblind. Color actually exists. I don't believe in.
Exactly.
I don't believe in, like, because you're white and I'm black, you should have more rights than me. If you feel me, but you should say, okay, I could physically see this man has a lighter pigment or has a darker pigment than me, but that doesn't mean he's inferior to me. So what I'm trying to say is, like, when I look at my people, like you watch these shows or see these skits or hear kids talk, oh, but you be telling your mom this, that, and the third. I could never tell my mom that. You know, black kid would be like, that's how you talk to your mom? I couldn't talk to my mom because, like, I feel like our culture is built on the respect status. Like, you respect your elders, you show love to your elders. Like, you know, in certain countries, you know, the elderly are held in high regards because they hold the knowledge.
Yeah,
you know, so a grandmother will live in the house with the family, or a grandfather will live in the house with the family. Like, you know, kids won't put their parents in retirement homes. They'll once they retire and they get to that age where they can't fully take care of themselves, they bring them in with them. You know, because we do it now, but that it's always been done in ancient times. Like, you would see the grandparents would live with the family because they've gotten to that age where now the children and the grandchildren, they take care, and then the grandparents, you know, they tell stories, they educate their kids about just their history coming from that bloodline, you know. So that's why you'll hear a lot of kids, like a lot of black kids growing up, they'll talk about their grandparents, like, you know, I was raised by my mother and my grandmother. Or you feel me? Like, I grew up with my cousins at my grandma's house. We used to be there every weekend, you know, playing video games, eating. Grandma used to cook good for us. You feel me?
Yeah.
That's the black culture. That's the culture. And it comes,
community, family.
And it's passed down from generation, you know. You feel what I'm trying to say? It's like that aspect. Yeah, the more aspect of family and community has always been in us, to where, like I said, bro, like, that's how we were raised. Even though, like, I grew up in the U.S. and then most of my family's in Haiti. Like, even my grandparents and most of my cousins, bro. I remember growing up before I came here. That's how it was, bro. Like, all my cousins, all my aunties and uncles, bro, used to be always in my grandparents' house.
Yeah.
Like, that's how it was. We were always at our grandparents' house. So, and I see that with African American kids that are from here. You know, they speak high regards of their grandparents. Like, you know, I grew up with my grandma. I used to go to my grandma's house with my cousins all the time. We used to eat at my grandma's house. You know, grandma used to, you feel me? I feel like you could trace that back to our heritage of, like, this is the communion of family. You feel me? So
and the maternal glorification. Like, you know, you always glorify the mother, always glorify the grandmother.
Exactly.